In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, in this particular world we are in, where everyone is shouting to be heard, silence is rare and powerful. Yes, very, very powerful. On reality check today, we are going to be uncovering the reason why silence is not weakness, but rather strength. The most powerful strength out there you can think of. The reason why silence is the opposite of what the things people think about it is positively the opposite. So the mainstream of our discussion on this video is the power of silence. So that's our major focus today. The power of silence. Yeah, I just said that. The power of silence. So guys, we point out the keywords. We point out the keywords like we normally do. The keywords here is power and silence. A quick look at that. When you look at power, what's power? Power. We always uh, use the word power most often. Yeah. Oftentimes we use the word power, and power means this. Like you will be like, I have power, stuff like this. Yeah, just an illustration. Don't mind me. It's funny now. So it means power is a high strength of something. So like the strength of something on a higher level, on a very another level. So when you say something has power, it means like it has a very strong strength, and the strength is very, very high. That's what power means. Now, what is silence? Silence silence simply means uh you know being mute. Okay, let me bring it down. This is complex now. It simply means uh you know staying solid without talking at a particular moment in time or from time to time. So that moment which you are staying quiet, which your mouth is staying quiet, because it's particularly attributes to the mouth. So once the mouth is bluffing, talking, like I'm talking now, I'm not silent. Yeah, that's what silent means. But silence is when I do this. I'm not talking now. I wasn't talking before. So I'm mute, you know, I'm quiet without talking, without saying anything. That's any word coming out from my mouth. That's what silence means. So stuff like I'm silent, right? And I'm normal. It's not me. Yeah. Most people, misunderstand it to be mean, like too serious. No, that's actually normal. Normal is serious, it's serious. And serious is normal, not too serious. So the way they think about it is what too serious, like over serious, not that. So I haven't understood what silence means. So pieces the words, the keywords, talk about the stuff that has to do with silence and the way it serves as power, and cook up the constructive measures why silence actually has power. So this is how this works, guys. Everybody and most people is always looking for popularity, and always, wanting to be heard. Aside from the popular side of it, like always wants people to know that they are talking to feel their presence, that they are alive. Yes, people should know that you are alive, but not outrageously. So what I mean here is most people always want people to know that they are talking, that they are present at every particular point in time, wherever they go, wherever they are. They want people to notice them, and uh, feel the impact of their attention. That's what they are present, very, very present. So at that particular point in time. That is outrageous. Like they just want, people to always notice them strangely and outrageously every point in time. Like so much. They want to always be noticed every point in time. If they eat, let people know they ate. Yes, if they laugh, let people hear their laughs. If they talk, people should, know that they're talking at that particular point in time. So they don't like quietness. They dislike quietness. They don't cherish quietness. They don't cherish silence. They are more like silence is lonely, but they don't comprehend what that means, and they don't even actually know what loneliness is, because that's actually what we'll be talking about in another video. So loneliness and boredom, the difference. So we'll be doing that in another video. Now, this is it. Why most people are busy doing that? You should know that the truth actually lies with silence. You don't need to, you know, shout louder or very loud and do that always for people to, feel your attention. It's actually the opposite. Silence buys attention, not, you making people to notice you so much every single time. No. Yeah, you should make people notice you. That's, uh, a, a, a good phase of life. As human beings, you must connect with people, you must relate with people. So you must make people notice you, yes, but in a normal way, not too much like do it as per the fact that everything depends on people noticing you all the time. No, that is really bad, and it's degrading your portfolio, and reducing everything about your respect and every single thing about you. But you actually think they like you, they don't like you, or they know you are being famous. They are getting famous, they are getting to know you. No, that's not how to get famous. Yeah, you reach out to people, you connect with people enough, but contain it to be normal. Yeah, you should do that enough, which is you should do that in a big way, but not too much. That's what we are saying. So when you don't do that too much, you are now abusing silence. You are now doing what? Yeah, you are now doing the opposite of silence. You are being so loud and stupidly loud all the time, and always and always and always. You are always shouting and shouting and doing stuffs. So you should know that the true power and your true power lies in silence, which is what you staying quiet. Being quiet is peace. That is peace. Peace is being quiet. Then further extends to reaching out to people, like connecting with people. But peace starts with quietness and ends with quietness. So this is peace. It's love. It's a kind of I'm just quiet. I was just quiet for a few seconds now. Like it's lovely, man. Like just being by myself, quiet. Or even when I'm with people, I'm just quiet. Then when I need to talk or I'm requested to talk, I just talk. Like I don't just always open my mouth to say anything that comes out of it, or I feel like saying stuff like that. So you being silent, you being silent, most times buys you what? Too much strength. Because one, it saves you strength on your focus to always do what you're doing. Because once you're silent, number one, that's when you can think well, and that's when you can think hard. And you can think hard when you are silent. But once you're always busy, shouting and shouting, loud and loud, talking and talking always, and over talking, you do what? It distracts you and takes your focus away from one, thinking well and thinking hard. So, but when you are silent, most times you discover that you begin to think well. Your brain begins to create things. Even when you don't touch your brain to think, your brain begins to produce thoughts and return them to you. Guy, Alpha, we should do this. So I think we should go and learn that work. Yeah, you actually need to learn that work seriously. You need to take it serious with your life. You need to think. Yeah, I think you are really good at it, and you even do think that you are not good at it, but you never know. Just start it, man. Just do it. All you need is actions. Actions over thoughts, because thoughts are what? Productive actions. That's what it is. So thoughts are what? action thoughts, like productive thoughts, thoughts being put in action. It doesn't just end in thinking hard, but you have produced the thoughts. But is it effective, or was it effective, in your life at that point in time? You do put it to action to do those things. So you should always learn to be silent most of the times, compared to being loud and loud and louder. That is not good at all. It doesn't help you. So once you're silent, you begin to think well and think hard, and you also have the time to compare yourself. That is now discipline. Discipline now comes into get busy with those things you have actually thought out. You know, you actually did think about, and you have decided to do them. So it gives you discipline to so many things. Discipline, and the persistence and the consistency to always do those things, because you begin to do what to realize that what ah you are adjusting your life, or kind of changing. Man, since I started being quiet most of the times, I began to think well, and I began to you know agree with my brain and to do those things I'm supposed to do. And so you have the time to always keep busy and get busy and do productive things with your life, financially and otherwise. So that is what silence buys you. And one thing about it I want you to know again is that people respect that. People do respect that. People respect what? Silence. Yes. Take God for example. He's usually silent most of the times. Yeah. I would say, 80% to 20% of the times, the way he does things. And it looks like, he's not aware of hard situations happening to us, or, to people around us. So we'll be like, God is silent. Yes, he is silent because he has to be, but he's temporarily silent. Not that he can't talk, or he doesn't talk, or he doesn't have the power to make those things we want happen. No, that is being silent. So, and he's temporarily silent at those times about situations, and he uses those silence to solve our situation. Because if you look at it the right way, he's silent, but he's working. He's busy solving that your problem. You are just the one worrying yourself. You don't know he's solving. He's solving it because he has given you every power to solve it. You just need to attribute to silence, then think well and think hard. You produce those positive and optimistic thoughts, then put them to actions. You execute them, because executing them is the main thing. Then you begin to do those things and they begin to work for you. Then you see that what him being silent is actually solving those problems, because he's being silent and he has been solving those problems because he has put the solutions all in your brain. You already have the manual, it's just for you to work with them, produce it and work with them. And then he's silent. He's further silent because what? Assuming he was busy talking, today he will tell you, "Oh, come on, Joseph, go and do this," and you refuse. You'll be like, "Oh no, no, God, I'm not doing that. I don't want to suffer." Tomorrow he will come and say, "I've told you several times, Joseph, go and do this thing. That it will work for you. Go and do this thing. This is what you need in your life, and your life keeps going well. Or do this is what you want. Then go and do it. You get that stuff." So it could be anything that you want. So, but what? He keeps repeating those things, and that's like more of monopoly. So he keeps repeating those things every single time, every single time, every single time. So God knows that what his monopolistic way of manipulating us doesn't work, but there's actually great power in silence. What does he do? He just keeps stoned, like he's hardening his heart. No, he's not hardening his heart. He's doing the right thing he's supposed to do. And then when you now get provoked at the fact that God has been silent about all these things, doing without knowing that he's not silent, he's just been normally silent and what temporarily silent. Then to an extent in your life, you get provoked about that silence. You'll be like, God doesn't exist, which kind of God? Then you get provoked and say, no, let me now do everything as if everything depends on me alone. Like I'm solely the one who has the willpower to do those things. So I'm the one who does these things, which God has never done anything for me. So you get provoked by his silence and begin to do positive things for yourself. And along the way, he still strings you back to himself to stand in his awe, to always be beneath him. Because no matter how much you think he doesn't exist, or you think you are doing away with him, it's a lie. So he's just taking you towards his direction. At the end of the day, you still calm down to do what? To talk to yourself and listen to yourself and say, actually, God is the one that's been doing all these things, so but he can't do it without me. He has to do it through me, and he can't do it directly the way I think. So he has to do it, indirectly, which is through me. So something must come in. It's now a combination of grace and hustle, God and hustle working together. So at the end of the day, you still calm down to understand him and say, he's actually right. I'm just supposed to do those things. He won't come and be doing them, direct for me. So he is actually right. So his silence solves the problems for you. So that's the way these things go. So there is true power. There is true power in silence, not being loud and noisy and over loud and over noisy every single time in your life. So cherish silence. So some people will say, that is madness. That guy is mad. That girl is mad. You know, that person is outrageous. Like it is strange, right? Because few people are wise. Yeah, few people, get to know this wisdom, do it and keep it constantly, and it works for them. So they'll be like, this person is crazy, man. That guy is mad. He doesn't talk to nobody. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's always silent. Oh God, like God forbid. God forbid, that's bad thing, But no, there ain't no such thing like that, because they don't understand the philosophy of life. They don't, understand what life means and the way it actually works, and how you should be doing. So, and the end road of it, or end description of this, God says, back in time when He created human being, He was like, let's make man in our own image, attribute this silence to God. Hmm? He as well has the same attributes. It's one of his, core characteristics he works with. So he has these attributes always silent. He doesn't make noise. He doesn't disturb himself. He doesn't disturb himself because he has given you the power to do those things. It's in your brain. You're just busy, troubling yourself instead of to think out something and then put it to work continuously. You grow and grow, and those things you want, you have them. So you are just busy, whiling away your time. So that is one of the core attributes of God. So silence, and we should learn and always do that, and things will keep working out fine for us. So uh, the power of silence, yeah, that's what I'm talking about today, and that's what I preach today. So there is power in silence, rather than being uh, loud and over loud, being noisy and over noisy every single point in time, and it's rather childish. Yeah, it's rather childish, very very. It's not matured of you. So a little kid of maybe 10 or 12 who even understands the power of silence and keeps to that is mature compared to a man or a woman in his 40s who just keeps being loud and noisy and noisy every single time, being like there's no routine to life. I have the right to live my life any which way I want it. Who told you that? That's deception. You are now indoctrinating yourself. You are brainwashing yourself. You are actually manipulating yourself. You are possessing and over possessing yourself. So it's quite strange and outrageous. But that's about that with this video. Always watch my videos, like, comment, and subscribe. So the channel remains at reality check 500 R in capital, C in capital. And as well, go below this video, go to the description below this video to contact me via my social media handles. You see my social media handles there. So contact me any day, anytime. A philosopher, a media professional, and a web developer. Peace.